Hello, and welcome to my Minecraft survival world. I'm going to be starting a new YouTube series where I'll be doing Let's Play walkthroughs um, and just showing the current projects I'm working on and how I'm working on them. This world is a few months old already, so I'm going to start with a world tour to show everything I have already, and then after that we can start working on some projects step by step. So let's start here in my original starter house, which I'm still using for my storage and furnace array, my nether access, and some lava farming. So this is my original house. I've expanded it a little bit. Storage used to run along here, but I've pushed it back and added some more furnaces and stuff. But I still operate out of this, a few months into the world, so I'm looking to expand, and that's why I'm starting to work on my base over there, which we'll see in a little while. I'm going to try and go in chronological order of builds and places here, so you get an idea of how I've progressed through the world so far. Over here is my iron farm. Originally, it started off as just these 4 pillars, and then everything above here, and then I had the storage underneath the pillars. But since then, I've added automatic storage with all the poppies flowing in here and all the iron flowing in here, and then I have my iron block storage down here. I added this floor in, and then I've started working on the walls that go around it with this little iron ingot design. This is only the front wall, and then I'll have walls just like this on the remaining 3 sides. But this is the entryway. This is a little closer look at the design here, mainly using deep slate and then some raw iron ore in there. I really like this design. I came up with it on my own, so I'm really happy about this. And in the future I'll be, building the rest of these walls. Next up is one of the biggest projects I took on to start early game, and the goal with this project was to build some kind of futuristic looking factory that houses a bunch of farms in it. And so I wanted to brand myself, so I put my name out in front using end rods for lighting, so it glows up at night, which looks really cool. But the whole building is made out of black concrete, and inside is where all my farms are, so we can head in there now. I do still plan on making a better entryway. This is really just temporary, so that's another thing I need to work on. But when you walk in, I have a few different farms in here. I have a bone meal farm, a sugarcane farm, a tree farm, a bee farm, a honey farm, both honey blocks and honeycomb, and this is a little concrete converter, which hasn't really been finished yet. It's kind of temporary makeshift. This is where I can make all the concrete I need for the massive projects like this. As you can see, there's a ton of concrete used in this, lots of white concrete and black concrete on the outside. So this is the bee farm. It's just a simple little setup. I don't really need anything special just yet, so I got plenty of honeycomb coming in. I have plenty of honey bottles, which I've been converting to these honey blocks. So I've got more than what I've needed so far, so I just keep letting this run. But right behind it is my bone meal farm. This is an Il Mango design. It's just one slice of his farm. So this is what it looks like up top. So it's really just a moss generator, which everything ends up getting composted and turned into bone meal. And we can actually turn this on and show you what it looks like when it's running. So you have 2 stone generators down here. 2 on this side, 2 on that side. And the stone that's generated is bone mealed and turned into moss. So you'll see this moss block get bone mealed, and then all the moss spreads around. The stone generator then pushes these blocks, which breaks the moss, and then these trapdoors with water behind them flush all the grass, seeds, moss, bushes down into here where they get composted, and I turn into bone meal. This is what it looks like down here. This is how much bone meal we have coming in. And then this all gets sent up and fed back into the farm, so it's self-sustaining. Through these little alignment positions, they get sent back into these hoppers. There's 4 hoppers that need to be filled. So once all those hoppers have been filled, which after this farm has been running for a while now, all the hoppers are filled, and so the bone meal ends up running down here. Should be running into the storage system, but I forgot to flip this lever. This lever, when it's flipped, will send all the bone meal that's produced to the tree farm. I can show you what that looks like after we're done here. For now, all the bone meal will run into these chests. Very fast, very efficient, and fits every need that I have. Let's turn it off. Next up is my sugarcane farm, which works just fine. It's not the fastest, it's not a flying machine design, just a single observer that sends off redstone signals to all these pistons. So how it works is once this observer detects that this sugarcane here has grown, it'll trigger a redstone line that is extended through all of the pistons in the farm. So it only takes one observer to detect one growth, which will send off all the pistons. And it's been pretty good so far. It's done what I needed it to. I have a ton of surplus here, but I mainly just use it for the firework rockets. And then over here is the tree farm, which you can see from outside. It's two levels. One is for the storage and one's for the farm itself. So all the logs are stored in here. I got oak, birch, spruce, and jungle that can be done here. And then I store all the saplings, sticks, and apples over here. So this is the design. Here is the bone meal thing that I was talking about. So once I flip that lever, all the bone meal from the moss farm will be sent to this farm and load into these chests here. And so then I can AFK this while having that on, and I don't have to worry about running out of bone meal. I have started working on it downstairs as well. There are a couple goals down here. One, obviously, is to have a melon and pumpkin farm, which I'll be working on in another video, and I can go in depth to some of the issues I've been running into building this in that video. But mainly down here, I've cleared out this space because I want to build a bamboo farm and a furnace array down here. So the idea is to clear out a big enough space to have a flying machine bamboo farm, and then also have a furnace array, so my furnace array is automatically fueled by the bamboo farm, and then I can smelt a ton of items at once down here with automatic fueling. Currently it's still a work in progress. I still need to dig out a bigger space and then actually build the farm and the furnace array. We'll get to that at some point. So the next thing I needed for progressing this world was villagers. So I have this temporary setup over here. This is my breeder. This has been here since you know the early days of the world, and it still works great. As you can see, I've got a surplus of villagers, and then I can take them to this zombification chamber that I built up here. I have tons of potions and apples. So I've been converting them and then sending them down here underground to this building over here, which is my trading hall. This building again I designed on my own. I'm pretty happy with it. I really wanted to use some copper. I had tons of it, and so I think this is a very good representation of how I like to use the copper in its oxidized stage. And so inside I have all the librarians that I need for all the different books, like Sharpness 5, Efficiency 5, mending is all the way down there. But mainly all the villagers I've ever needed are in here for the books. And then my emerald generators are down here. I haven't needed too many emeralds since I've, maxed out my tools and armor. So I'm still kind of working on getting my emerald generators done, because there's not as many villagers over here as there is over there. But mainly what I use is just these weaponsmiths or toolsmiths, and I can just trade iron, because I always have iron flowing in through the iron farm, so it's not really a problem to use it over here. And that gets me a decent amount of emeralds and allows me to buy what I need so far. In the future, I'm sure there'll be bigger projects where I need to buy, maybe quartz or bells or whatever the case may be. So I will eventually need more emerald generators, but for now, these guys do. So we're going to leave the starting area and head over to some farms that are built over in the ocean. And one thing I found while going to build my creeper farm is I have a woodland mansion very, very close to my starting area. As you can see here it is. Very, very close. Walking distance even. And so what I wanted to do with this was clear out everything around it, because as you all know, if you've seen a woodland mansion, they're usually surrounded by these thick oak trees. And so I kind of wanted to display this and have it be something that you can see the whole picture of, because that's usually never the case with woodland mansions. So it's something I work on occasionally. I haven't worked on it in quite a long time, but it's something I hope to do one day. Over here in the ocean, we have my creeper farm and a slime farm. The creeper farm is really, really simple. It's designed by Shulkercraft. It's only one layer, and it works super well. I don't have any here right now, but I've only had to AFK at this like once or twice, and I already have all the gunpowder I needed. So really simple, really easy design. And then over here is my slime farm, which is just, a simple slime farm. I haven't needed much slime yet, but one of the goals I do have is to make a perimeter. And obviously to do that you need lots of slime with flying machines, so that's why I built this. But it works great. Haven't spent much time here, but it's here if I need it. So this is the start of my base. I want to do a castle, something I've never done before, but always something I've wanted to do. So I started off with these two little posts here, and the castle will extend back behind them and sit on this hill. But currently I'm working on decorating the front here. So it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do. Whether I wanted to go with a bright, lush green front area or a darker, more brownish themed area, and I started playing around with the darker design. I think it just works so much better than the green, and so I've started to decorate this left side here. But I ran into a problem. So I made these tents in my creative world, and I brought the design over, and I love the way they look. But there's one thing I need which I don't have a lot of, and that's these brown banners. So I want to put these brown banners kind of all over, so here, here, and then above, obviously. But I don't have the brown wool for this, so I can't quite finish this yet. And so that's what I wanted to work on today, was getting more brown wool. My current sheep situation is not good. It's the same situation I've had since day one. So I just have some sheep in a pen over here. I have some brown wool. I just dyed some of these sheep brown, so I could at least get a start. But I don't think this is going to work. So what I want to do is finally set up an automatic wool farm. With all the colored wool, so I never have to worry about dyeing individual sheep and cutting their wool. Originally I have all these sheep black so I could carpet the top of the factory over there. And I've been collecting some, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. And so I've had to dye the sheep light gray and gray for some wool in that iron ingot design, and then obviously the brown for the banners. But that's all I've done, so I really want to get all the colors and automate it so I have all different kinds of wool. So I now have all the dyes that I need for this farm, as well as some materials to hold the sheep and make some shears, as well as the redstone to shear them, and some rails with minecart with hopper to collect the wool. And so I think I'm just going to dive right in and build this thing. Alright, so the sheep farm is now done. I've been sitting here for about 10 minutes now, and this is what we have, and this is what we need right here, is the brown wool. This storage is temporary. I think I'm going to end up sending the items into a dropper and then up a bubble elevator, and then I'll send them across a chest array to sort them and have multiple double chest storage for the wool. So this farm consists of 16 sheep, one with each of the 16 different colors. And so how it works is they stand on this grass block here, and then when they eat, their wool grows back. So after they eat, the block changes from grass to dirt, which is detected by the observer, and that observer sends that signal into this block, which powers this redstone, which powers the dispensers, which have the shears in them, and then the shears shear the sheep, the wool falls down, and it's picked up by the minecart with hopper down below, and then dispensed into this chest here. Well, now that the storage system for the wool farm is complete, I think I'm going to spend the night here and AFK, see how much brown wool we can actually get, and then in the next video we should have enough to tackle the tents and make all those banners. That's it for this one. See you guys in the next one.